On 23rd June 2016, Künker in Osnabrück will hold its auction 279, opening with the Rudolf Spitzner Collection of coins and medals from Regensburg. We would like to use this opportunity to give you an insight into the coinage of the city. Since the Middle Ages, Regensburg had been counted among the most influential cities in the Holy Roman Empire. Its merchants traded their goods in Venice, Paris and Kiev, so that the people of Regensburg became rich and powerful. The Regensburg pfennig was among the most important coins of the Middle Ages. It was in use in Sweden, Finland and Norway, as well as in Poland and Russia. The stone bridge of Regensburg became the well-known symbol of the civic wealth and pride. At its opening in 1146, there were no further bridges crossing the Danube between Ulm and Vienna. The stone bridge was still regarded as the city's most famous landmark centuries later, and was thus featured on coins and medals time and again. The coat of arms of Regensburg is another sight commonly featured on coins. It shows the cross keys of St. Peter in silver on a red field. St. Peter is the patron saint of the Regensburg Cathedral to this day. The political situation in Regensburg was complicated. On the one hand, there was the bishop, who, by the way, had the right to issue coins. This coin was minted with dies which Bishop Albert von Thöring had commissioned for the year 1621. In the 18th century, there were so many coin collectors interested in Regensburg coins that the dies stored in the archives of the cathedral chapter were used to produce restrikes of this highly requested coin. In 1594, when this print was produced, Philip of Bavaria was Bishop of Regensburg. The Catholic rulers of Bavaria were hoping to bind the wealthy city of Regensburg closer to Bavaria, but the plan did not succeed. Too many stakeholders were involved. There was the part of Regensburg that was a free imperial city. This part had implemented the Reformation in 1542. But there also were the many monasteries whose subordinates remained Catholic. Regensburg was a city of compromises, and so, for example, both Catholic and Protestants celebrated their masses in the Church of the Dominican Order. In 1526, the Dominicans successfully had this practice banned by the Aulic Council. The Protestants received a compensation of 6,000 guldens, which they invested to build a new church. This beautiful coin at the weight of 5 ducats remembers the laying of the foundation stone on 4 July 1627. By featuring a preview of the completed church, the coin shows the first Protestant church not only of Regensburg but of Bavaria. It was dedicated to the Holy Trinity, which is seen up in the clouds on the coin. Eternalized on the reverse are the Protestant councilmen with their family crests and their personal initials. Regensburg suffered severely from the 30 Years' War. It was caught in the middle. On the one hand, it was a refuge for all Protestants. On the other hand, the emperor held many imperial diets in the city. This double ducat was minted on the occasion of the 1641 imperial diet. The obverse features Emperor Ferdinand III. The reverse depicts the coats of arms of all 7 electors, even though only 2 of them were present. During the 30 Years' War, Regensburg was seized twice. In 1633, the Swedish arrived under the lead of Duke Bernhard of Saxe-Weimar. In 1634, he was driven out by imperial and Bavarian troops personally led by Emperor Ferdinand III. The Peace of Westphalia understandably took on an almost biblical dimension for the people of Regensburg. On this medal it is compared to the story of the flood and Noah's Ark. After the long passage over the land flooded by the deluge, the dove and the rainbow finally return the hope to a normal life. In 1653, all imperial states of the Holy Roman Empire gathered in Regensburg to answer all of those questions which had remained unanswered despite the Peace of Westphalia. The emperor seized the opportunity to crown his son Ferdinand IV, German king. This medal, at the weight of 2 ducats, was minted on this occasion. But Ferdinand would never rule. He died of the pox the year after his coronation. In 1663, the Imperial Diet convened again in Regensburg. On the agenda were the Turkish question, the constitutional relationship between emperor and empire, and many other points. After 3 years, the emperor urged Parliament finally to come to a decision. After 5 years, the imperial states urged the emperor to come to an end. In the 7th year, one came to accept the reality that the Imperial Diet had become a permanent institution. People called it the Perpetual Diet of Regensburg. The sessions, during which the imperial states were represented by delegates, took place in the old city hall, which we see here on this thaler from the year 1737. This illustration depicts the assembly hall where the Perpetual Diet sat. It is from a thaler dated to 1745. This piece was struck on the occasion of the return of the delegates to Regensburg that year. The invasion of the Austrian army in Bavaria that followed Charles VII's anointment as emperor had led to the Imperial Diet moving to Frankfurt. That Regensburg has issued more splendid gold coins as most of the German cities has a reason, of course. Presents and return presents played a major role in the ceremonial of early modern diplomacy. The town fathers of Regensburg were forced to give lavish gifts to delegates on their arrival or departure. And what would be better suited to this purpose than coins, whose weight and material could be carefully calibrated depending on who the presentee was. Thanks to that, the beautiful skyline of Regensburg has been preserved not only on paintings and engravings, but also on countless coins and medals. In 1803, the final recess of the imperial deputation was decreed in the assembly hall of the old city hall, the law that officially ended the existence of the free imperial cities and the ecclesiastical states. The final recess turned the free imperial city of Regensburg into a principality under Bishop Karl Theodor von Dalberg. This convention thaler from 1809 shows him as new potentate of Regensburg. Clearly visible is the large cross he carries around his neck. It marks him as primate of the German Church. Napoleon had invested him with this office. The Pope refused to give his consent. Nevertheless, Dalberg remained Bishop of Regensburg until his death. Still, the rule over the city was transferred to Bavaria at Napoleon's command in 1810. Thus, as the independence of the city of Regensburg ended, so did its coinage. We from Auction House Künker are happy to invite you to our summer auction 2016. If this film has sparked your interest, we would love to welcome you at our auction sale 279 on Thursday, 23rd June 2016. Do not hesitate to contact us should you have any further questions.